Welcome to the Argon News Network, where today we're doing it again. Welcome, you all-bloody Argon 8-bit legends. Loserbum back on your screens with some low-script, medium-dubious quality 8-bit modern retro content. Let's dive right in. Today, we are doing not an Argon TV a game review. We are doing a game re-review. That's right, back to the past. And I will explain why we are doing this. If you remember the previous video, which was mainly about the latest MOS and VDP version 1.04 dropping, I had installed that firmware directly before recording the video, and because of this some of the games actually didn't work. It broke backwards compatibility. Like here, this is the SpaceBirds. It's only taking up a quarter of the screen. There's no color. There was another one called PizzaDash, which was even worse. And at the time, it was kind of funny that, I was ranting on about backwards compatibility in the intro, and then I fall into exactly that same trap. Because of this, it was kind of unfair, right? These two games, lots of effort, had just not been given a fair chance. And the cool thing is then on the video, a kind user, Archibald Buttle7, that's a reference to a fantastic movie called Brazil. If you haven't seen it, pause the video, go and see it, then go into therapy because of the ending and come back. Although I will note that the Argon light would actually fit perfectly into the aesthetic of that film. End footnote. So Archibald says, hey, you can enable legacy modes on the new VDP software by using video 23C at C1, 1. Well, I thought, what a best way to do these games justice than to do exactly that. So let's step over to the other machine here, and we will, hang on, let me go back. I'll show you the games in a moment, where to find them. All links, as always, will be in the description below. So we do the incantation, VDU, hang on, let me hit 23, at C1, 1. Let me just double check that I got that right over here. Nope, there's a 0. So 23, 0, at C1, 1. You have to run that in BBC Basic because the VDU is a BBC Basic command. And then we will start with PizzaDash. .baz, so it's a .baz file which is not tokenized, which means the loading time's a little longer, but the new VDP versions and the new BBC Basic versions are better on this, right? In the past, we would have been waiting for a while. Here, that's an acceptable loading time. And we have color. This was like last time, if you watch a previous video, we didn't even get this far. And it was just unplayable, no color, black and white. So let me check the controls, up, down, space to jump. 1. And here we go, PizzaDash. The game is slowly starting. It's a game in basic, and I'm getting very strong Mooncrester vibes here. Okay, so I guess I can't jump over cars. I can go down and simply avoid them. I do want to jump over something at the moment. You can see how the animation is like not super fluid, but yes, you can actually jump over those blocks, although I would advise to probably go up. There's a bit of a lag on the keyboard, etc., etc. I think that's enough for today, but hey, PizzaDash is working. Our backwards compatibility hack is functional. That is awesome. So from there, we will exit the basic, and we will now go to the other game called SpaceBirds, which is, we had to exit basic because SpaceBirds is an actual binary game. It's programmed in C, I believe. SpaceBirds, SpaceBirds.bin. Yeah, okay, if helps if I type that correctly. SpaceBirds.bin, run. And of course, bam, fast loading. Oh, bird space, press space to start. I think a couple of those graphics are not quite perfect yet, but so much nicer than the version when the VDU was broken. So zippy on the thing. Notice a slight little 3D shading effects on the ship. Um, there's a weird thing that sometimes, oh, if you press the key the second time, I guess you stop. Sometimes the ship stops. But anyway, like I mentioned in my last videos, this is very much a homage to a game called Phoenix, an actual arcade game which you had to put coins in. And like exactly, if you got the birds and you hit them like that, they would split apart for extra points, and so on and so forth. So wow, right? So that's a heck of a game. It is playable. It's a little chunky on the keyboard, but we've always had that topic. Maybe there'll be a joystick version one day. I'm on level 3, 700 points, and what happens now? Nope, we just keep going. Level 4 with bigger eggs. Oh, there it just the eggs hatch straight into the large thing. But check those sprites. There's like little shady effects and everything, and smooth scrolling and all of that. Really, really like it. So as you can see, it's not a super challenging game, right? It's not that hard, but it is interactive. It goes beep. You're hearing the sound there, so not bad. Well done. And if I press escape, can I get out? Will it let me out? Okay, no, I can. Whoops. I've broken the game by pressing escape. I've now gotten into a loop where it is just looping through all the levels. Probably be fun to have this thing running and see what happens. So, I mean, hey, they work, right? We'll get to the scoring in just a moment. Let's go and give these things their due. So, Nicholas Pratt, author of PizzaDash, a solid effort, and he does say, you know, maybe an ill-conceived idea, side-scrolling, sprite-based, learning curve applied, and I hope to make it a bit more playable in the future. Indeed, Nicholas, we will, you know, hit me up in the comments or on the Discord or anywhere else if there's an updated version. Happy to revisit it. And Argon SpaceBirds is by James780, and it is a C game, I believe. I think that's written in C. Yeah, here, added explosion 100 for big birds. It's got sprites, it's got all the thing. Little shout out to James, right? Not using the release function. He is actually the binary you will find in the debug folder, I believe. Oh no, sorry, not the debug folder, the release folder, right? Rather using the GitHub release function. Nope, we've got a release folder here, and that's where you only need the spacebirds.bin. So that's where it is. And the some people might ask, so exactly how does this magic VDU230 at C1, 1 work? And my answer is, I have no clue, and I don't care. It's a cool incantation, and if we were to understand it, we would lose some of the mystery, some of the mystique. What I do find very funny about it is like this platform is what, a year old? You know, a year and a bit, but like I think I got mine a year ago and I was probably in the first batch, like call it 14, 15 months, right? And we already have to have cool hacks like this to achieve backwards compatibility. It's a compression of how computers and operating systems evolve over time, like Microsoft wrestling back and forth with being backwards compatible with the 98 and then the 2000 kernel and XP and all of that stuff. Well, hey, nothing new under the sun. Argon is a repeating evolution. So, scoring. I've got this table, which I just racked up a few minutes ago, of the scores which I've given on these games review, and I've been a bit whimsical, and I think I might be missing some. And knowing that Nova Star, which was also a shmup, and I'm going to put that as a medium, that was at a 5, I can't honestly give SpaceBirds a 5 as well. Nova Star was definitely more playable than SpaceBirds, so we're going to give in SpaceBirds, this current version, a score of 4. If Nicholas Pratt goes back and improves it, maybe that'll crawl higher up the rankings, but still a sterling effort, and don't complain, it's free. PizzaDash, sorry, that was the other way around. I mean, PizzaDash is on 4. SpaceBirds, I want to say it's up there with Rocky. Remember, Rocky was that kind of dig dug game programmed by Nihirash, all in assembler, and I'm going to give SpaceBirds for now a 9, simply because it's C rather than assembler, right? Rocky was just so fucking hardcore, and also because I recognize that I'm biased. I have a very deep emotional biological attachment to Phoenix, so SpaceBirds makes me feel happier than it probably should. However, and if we go to the description of Argon SpaceBirds, it does say, to be the future, there will be a boss level. The Phoenix boss level was really cool. You had like a spaceship. So I didn't even prepare Phoenix boss level arcade. Yeah, we're not gonna happen. But the boss level, see that's what Phoenix looks like. And if we go all to the way to the back, go on. Yeah, that was the boss level. And this was an arcade game made for coins. It's a very early release, 1980, so Phoenix was very old, but that's a respectable thing. If James gets anywhere close to that, I absolutely anticipate revisiting the game and Spacebird crawling up the rankings. The other thing which I just want to share with you, these scores, and with some of them I was having a bit of fun, I plan to do a two-dimensional scoring board as more games come online because it's not linear, right? So for instance, if we take, let's say, Dragerman, right? That was a very, very playable game, but didn't really have a whole lot of tech stuff. There was nothing special. Rocky was really high on the tech stuff. Assembler, SpaceBirds, it's written in C. That gets a high as well. PizzaDash on the gameness is like, it's mediumly playable. Actually, it's low on the playability, and it's low on the nerditude scale, if you know what I mean. One of them, is it like really a game? Is it something which you would play? And SpaceBirds is definitely high. You saw me keep wanting to chew on it. And is it like, does it have a technical achievement? Has something funky been done? The Snake, I never really reviewed because they were part of the Olimex coding challenge. For instance, there, if we take the Snake, which was written in 4th, that is going to come in at a very, very high score on the nerditude because it's written in freaking 4th. I mean, it's like, you can't get more nerdy than that. So yeah, expect a two-dimensional grid, and then we will apply Pythagoras to go and find out the actual absolute score in the distance from the origin. And I'm not going to go away from my judgment that Vesa VT, because it's just a Zork virtual machine rather than a game, actually heads off at right angles to the other two axes into the Z plane. Right, oof, that was fun. Huh? So enjoyed that very much. And with that, what else can I say? I can say, if you like this sort of content, remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you don't like this sort of content, tell your enemies to like, share, and subscribe. Like everybody in the Argon community, I'm not really in it for the money. I'm in it for the lulz, and the little likes and subscribes helps keep my motivation up. Keep interacting in the YouTube comments. Keep interacting via Mastodon. I'm also on Blue Sky. I think I've got 3 Blue Sky invite codes, 4 actually, if I go to 2 accounts. So hit me up, and it would be a privilege of me to invite you to the Discord. With that, what can I say? You're all a bunch of 8-bit legends. I'm a loser bum. You should be having an absolutely fantastic time as we near the end of the year, and I am out of here.